Barlow Creations, crafting on a budget. Today's video, I am so stinking excited about this DIY headboard. It is so easy, so inexpensive, and the best part is it is gonna save you so much stinking money, I can hardly handle it. You can get everything you need for this DIY at the Dollar Tree and Joann's. So let's jump into it and let me show you how to make a headboard out of Dollar Tree's foam board. You're not gonna wanna miss this. For this headboard, I headed over to the Dollar Tree where I picked up 6 of these foam boards and a roll of packaging tape. At Joann's, I picked up 6 packs of these buttons that were $1 a piece, but because they were on sale, I got them for 50% off, paying only 50 cents a piece. I also picked up 2 yards of this buffalo batting at $7.99 a yard and used my 60% off coupon, saving me $4.79 a yard, which left me paying $3.20 a yard for this buffalo batting. I also picked up 2 yards of this calico fabric at $6.99 a yard. It was also on sale 50% off, and I was able to combine this 25% off my total purchase of fabric off of regular and sale priced fabric. I got this fabric 75% off, paying $1.75 a yard. I'll also be using these straight pins that I already had in my stash. You can pick up very inexpensive straight pins at Walmart for under $1 if you don't have any on hand. I'm gonna start this project off by taking 3 of the 6 foam boards and tape them together side by side using the packaging tape that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. Then repeating this process with the last 3 foam boards. I am taping the boards on both sides because I feel like it makes it a bit stronger and more sturdy by doing it that way. Now I'm going to tape both sets together, giving me the height that I need for this headboard. I'm making this headboard for a full-size bed. So the measurements that I'm going with for this is 54 inches wide by 54 inches tall for the height of the headboard. So I'm gonna measure out the 54 by 54 on the foam board pieces that I've taped together to give me those measurements. I'll be using this handsaw that I picked up from the Dollar Tree to cut through my foam board. I found that it is so much easier to use this handsaw to cut through it versus using a straight edge razor. Next, I'm going to take the 2 yards of buffalo batting. I'm not worried about covering the full length of this headboard with batting because the bottom half of this headboard isn't going to show because of the mattresses. So I'm just going to cover the top half of this headboard with batting by folding my 2 yards in half and hot gluing it to the top of the board. Now taking my 2 yards of fabric, I'm going to start off by covering the bottom half of this headboard first. Because I wanted to keep the cost of this headboard down, I stuck with just the 2 yards that I felt I was going to need. I knew ahead of time that I was going to need to patch the bottom half of this headboard with scrap fabric. And that's fine with me because nobody's going to see the bottom half of this headboard. I've neatly patched together the leftover scrap fabric that I had after making sure I could cover the top of this headboard in one piece. After laying it out across the bottom of this headboard, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue along the top of the fabric here so I can easily flip over the board and hot glue the fabric to the back of the board and not worry if the fabric has moved out of place or not. And there I have neatly covered the bottom half of this headboard using scrap fabric. And now I am ready to cover the top of this headboard with my remaining fabric. Once I've gotten it laid out over the top neatly, I'm just going to take my hot glue gun again and hot glue the bottom first. So when I flip this headboard over, it'll be easier and I won't have to worry whether or not the fabric has moved out of place or not. I can easily flip over the headboard now and hot glue the edges of the fabric to the back of this headboard. Now on the front side of the board, using a ruler and a white gel pen, I picked the white gel pen because it'll blend nicely with the fabric. I'm going to measure down 4 inches and in 4 inches. From that mark, I'm going to measure every 8 inches across the whole width of the board. This is where I'm going to place the buttons to give the front of this headboard that quilted pillowed look. Moving on to the second row, I'm going to measure down 4 inches from the marks that I just made, which would be 8 inches from the top. Only this time I'm going to offset them so they are not lining up with the marks that I just made in the first row. I'm going to do this for the next 4 to 5 rows. It ended up being a lot easier measuring and marking the headboard after I stood it up and placed it against the wall. Using these straight pins, I'm going to place a straight pin through every hole that I just measured and marked on the front of this headboard. Stick with me. I know some of you are thinking, those are straight pins. What is she going to do with the back? I'm going to show you what I do with the back. So here is the back of the board and it looks just as we all expected. I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and I am going to bend the straight pin into the foam board, just like so. Then taking my hot glue, I am going to completely cover the back of this straight pin with hot glue. And I am going to do this to all of the straight pins on the back of this headboard, making it nice and safe. And here is the back of the headboard where all the straight pins were sticking out and they are completely covered. I am not worried about this being in Allie's room at all. All that is left to do is to hot glue the buttons on top of where I placed each of the straight pins, covering them up, giving this headboard a nice pillowed quilted look. And here it is, the finished product. Let's go put this behind the bed and see how nice it looks. And look at there. Look at how stinking adorable that headboard looks. And this was so budget friendly. The headboard fit nicely. There was no need for any hooks. Just pushing the mattress up against it. It is staying, as you can see, flush up against the wall. I picked the fabric for this headboard based upon the quilt. This is a quilt that I've made for Allie. I made it for her before she was born. I've made each of the kids a quilt so they have one from me. And for each of their quilts, I added a note to each of them. And I also added a note to their quilted pillow sham that I made them as well. And if you're someone who's watching this tutorial and you don't have a headboard and you've always wanted one, I truly hope that I've inspired you to try and make one of these, because they are really easy and there are endless possibilities when making a headboard like this. Well, everybody, that's all I have for you for today for this DIY headboard using Dollar Tree's foam board. Tell me the outcome of this headboard is not amazing. You would never know that this was made out of foam core. There are endless possibilities in making this headboard. You can dress it up as dressy as you'd like, or you can make it as kid-friendly as you'd like I did. I have made one in the past that was really dressy and absolutely beautiful, and I wish that I had a picture of it, but I just cannot seem to find it, and it came out absolutely gorgeous using a black fleur-de-lis fabric and pearls. It was absolutely gorgeous, and it was made for a king-size bed. And you would have never known that it was made out of foam board that you pick up from the Dollar Tree. And that's the best part about doing DIYs, is that you are saving money and people would be shocked to know what you made your headboard out of. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, stick around a while by clicking that red button for more crafting on a budget videos to come. And if you click it again when the bell appears, YouTube will notify you when I'm uploading a new video. You can also follow me on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Google+, and Twitter. You can find those links in the description box below. Just click on those links, click follow, and you'll also be notified through social media when I'm uploading a new video or just doing something fun. You can also find my P.O. box in the description box below as well, if you're interested in sending me mail and watching me open it up in a video. And don't forget, if I've inspired you to make one of my projects, snap a quick picture of it, send it to me on Facebook or Instagram, because I love seeing all of your creations and I can feature them in an upcoming video. Until next time, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. Happy crafting on a budget, and bye for now.